When a narcissist is in a relationship with you, here's how they control your every move. Hi everyone. Today we're going to strip things down to the very core and expose exactly how and why narcissists push you to do things that are not only difficult, but often impossible. It's important to understand that a narcissist can never be truly satisfied by anyone, and not even by themselves. That bottomless emptiness drives everything they do. Before we begin, I want to thank you for being here. If you find value in this content, please share it with your friends, family, or anyone you care about. It helps this channel grow and reach more people who need to hear this. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss future updates. Your support is always appreciated. Narcissists are driven purely by self-interest. Every move, every word, every calculated gesture is designed to serve their needs first. Yet, surprisingly, many people struggle to truly grasp this. Part of the problem is that most people, those I call normies, naturally project their own human qualities onto others. They assume that everyone must have a capacity for compassion, empathy, or basic decency, because that's what they themselves possess. This projection becomes a narcissist's perfect camouflage. It blinds potential targets to the reality of who they are dealing with, making it far easier for the narcissist to exploit and manipulate. If you've been a victim, chances are you haven't had much time or emotional space to stop and ask yourself how someone could be so cold, so greedy, and so calculating without the faintest regard for another human being. That's exactly how the narcissist wants it. One of their main objectives is to keep you in the dark for as long as possible, because once you truly see them, the power starts to fade. On the surface, narcissists may appear to be in total control, confident, superior, and untouchable. But what many don't realize is that they are also perfectly willing to switch roles when it benefits them. If playing the victim will serve their goals better than playing the ruler, they will do it without hesitation. They will weave stories of hardship and pain, about a cruel ex, a tragic childhood, or their longing for a safe and loving partner, all to stir your sympathy. They know that if they can make you believe they need rescuing, you're more likely to take on their burdens, no matter how heavy they are. And make no mistake, the weight they place on you is designed to be crushing. If you fail to meet their impossible demands, they will simply label you as yet another person who let them down, adding your name to a long mental list of disappointments. At the heart of all this lies the narcissist's relentless hunger for validation. Their inner world is a hollow place, dark, restless, and joyless. They are incapable of finding peace or fulfillment within themselves, so they reach outward, desperately trying to extract it from the people and things around them. To a narcissist, relationships are not about genuine connection. They are about extracting a supply of attention, admiration, and service. They will surround themselves with as many people as they can, not because they value each person individually, but because each one represents a potential source of approval and care. They see it as their mission to leave a lasting mark on every victim they claim, whether through charm, manipulation, or control. To them, control is everything. Without it, they feel powerless and exposed. When they can't get someone under their thumb, they are left with a deep sense of hopelessness, because control is their lifeline. Without control, they have no way to feed the emptiness inside them, and that is their greatest fear. Narcissists have an intense aversion to accepting responsibility for their actions or being held accountable for their mistakes. Even the smallest admission of fault feels like an unbearable humiliation to them. Rather than face that discomfort, they will deflect all blame, push every ounce of guilt onto someone else, and feel no remorse in doing so. In their version of reality, every mistake, every failure, every broken promise is someone else's fault. And it doesn't stop there. Narcissists will readily throw their partners, children, and friends under the bus if it means protecting themselves. The unspoken rule is simple. As long as you don't question them, challenge them, or expose them, everything will be fine. But to keep them happy, you must meet every demand without setting limits, swallow their lies without protest, and follow their every instruction without hesitation. And here's the cruel truth. Even if you do everything they ask, You can never truly make them happy, because their unhappiness lives inside them, untouched by anything you do. Somehow, in their twisted logic, if they are miserable, it's still your fault. To the narcissist, you are not just expected to shoulder the blame for their mistakes. You are expected to take on the burden of their happiness as well. Whether it's in a family setting, a romantic relationship, or even a workplace dynamic, their expectations are always wildly unreasonable. And when you fail to meet them, and you inevitably will, they can become explosively angry. This fury is rooted in their inner emptiness. Because they cannot generate joy from within, they attempt to extract it from others, and any disruption to that supply feels like a personal attack. That is why rejection is such a foreign and infuriating concept to them. When you say no, when you set a boundary, when you expose their lies, or when you simply refuse to play their game, you shatter the illusion of control they depend on. In their eyes, this is an act of rebellion, disrespect, even betrayal. The moment you stop obeying, they see you not as a person protecting yourself, but as a threat to be punished. The truth is, we don't want to be their emotional servants anymore. We don't want to keep living under the weight of their mistreatment. But breaking free from that grip is rarely easy. If narcissists genuinely cared about us as people, this dynamic would not exist. They wouldn't lash out simply because we asked a question or expressed a need. They would understand that our well-being is not theirs to control, and that we are not responsible for patching up their fragile egos. Yet some narcissists will weaponize their own vulnerability, claiming they need our love or support to survive. They may even go so far as to harm themselves, not out of genuine despair, but as a manipulative act to keep us locked in place. What matters most to them is not our happiness, but our continued presence, no matter how much it costs us emotionally. It's heartbreaking when you think about it, isn't it? But it's even more important to recognize that our own wounds and struggles with self-worth can make us especially susceptible to their false promises. A narcissist knows how to present themselves as the savior we've been waiting for, the one who will fill the gaps in our hearts, quiet our fears, and help us achieve the dreams we've carried for years. But this is a trap. The truth is, no healthy relationship can be built on the belief that another person will fix our past pain or resolve our unresolved issues. That's not what relationships are meant to do. And if we don't see that clearly, we risk staying chained to someone who was never truly there to love us in the first place. To guard ourselves against a narcissist's love-bombing tactics, we must first step into any relationship already feeling whole, secure, and content within our own skin. True happiness is something we cultivate from the inside out, not something handed to us by another person, least of all by a narcissist, whose attention is never about nourishing us, but about feeding their own needs. While it may feel unjust that they lean so heavily on others to fill the emptiness they carry, it is simply the reality of how they operate. That's why it's vital to never let a narcissist persuade you that your joy should hinge on their approval or their moods. I truly hope this video has given you valuable insight. If you've ever encountered a narcissist, I invite you to share your stories and reflections in the comments below. They could be the lifeline someone else needs. And if you'd like to keep learning more about these dynamics, consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the notification bell so you won't miss what's coming next. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Have a nice day, everyone.